Emeka and Adanna exchanged a meaningful look. Finally, Emeka cleared his throat. Mama Adanna, the truth is we are going through a very difficult time. A difficult time, Mama Adanna repeated slowly, tasting the irony like bitter leaf. What a coincidence that you come looking for me just when you have problems, after 14 years of acting like I was dead and buried. Emeka shifted on the cushion, clearly preparing a speech he had practiced during the journey to her house. His eyes avoided hers as he searched for the words he thought would soften her heart. The business collapsed 6 months ago, he finally confessed. We lost everything. The house is being taken by the bank. Adanna had to stop working to watch the children, because we cannot afford help. We are living in my brother's boys' quarters, but he too is struggling. Adanna nodded desperately, as if confirming their suffering would automatically generate compassion. Mama, the children ask why they don't have their own room anymore. Why Papa is always angry. Why Mama cries at night. We don't know what to do. Ah, Mama Adanna said, leaning back in her chair. So now I am useful. Now I exist. Now I am family. How convenient. During those 14 years of exile, Mama Adanna had developed a special ability to see through lies, to detect manipulation, to protect herself from people who only appeared when they needed something. The women at the market had taught her that children often return to their parents when life beats them down. Not because of genuine love, but because of pure convenience. It is not like that, Mama, Adanna protested, her voice breaking. I have always loved you. I have always thought of you. It was just the circumstances. Mama Adanna interrupted with a smile that did not reach her eyes. Let us talk about circumstances, Adanna. When your first son almost died from malaria 7 years ago, and was in hospital for 2 weeks, where was I? When your second daughter broke her leg falling from a tree 5 years ago, did you call me? When your youngest child had trouble in school last year, did you think to ask your mother for advice? Each question was an arrow aimed at the center of her daughter's guilt. Adanna grew pale with each one, because she knew the answer was the same. She had not thought of her mother at any difficult moment in their lives. Only now, when they needed money, when their world was crumbling financially, had they remembered she existed. We knew you had your own struggles, Emeka muttered, trying to justify the unjustifiable. We didn't want to burden you when you could barely feed yourself selling akara. The boldness of his comment left Mama Adanna speechless for a moment. Not only had they justified her exclusion because of her poverty, but now they had the audacity to admit it openly, as if it were a valid reason to abandon someone you claimed to love. I see, Mama Adanna said with surprising calmness. So I was not good enough for you when I was poor, but now that you have heard about my new situation, suddenly I am valuable enough to visit. The truth about her economic transformation was something they could never have imagined. 3 months ago, while preparing akara for Sunday market, she received a call that changed her destiny forever. It was a lawyer from the city informing her of the death of her uncle's wife, Auntie Ifeoma, her father's brother's wife, who had lived in America for 40 years without the family knowing much about her. Auntie Ifeoma had been the family rebel, the one who married a white man and left Nigeria young, chasing dreams nobody understood. For decades, they only received occasional letters at Christmas, but they never really knew how she had fared in life. It turned out she had done extraordinarily well. The inheritance included property in Houston that sold for 800 million naira, bank accounts with another 300 million, and investments totaling another 1.2 billion naira. Overnight, Mama Adanna went from counting kobo to buy tomatoes to having more money than she had ever dreamed of possessing. But the most important thing about that inheritance was not the money. It was the letter Auntie Ifeoma had left specifically for her. In that letter, written in shaky handwriting, she explained how she had followed Mama Adanna's life through relatives, how she had seen her loneliness, her family's abandonment, her daily struggle to survive. Adanna, the letter said, I have watched how your daughter has treated you. I have seen your dignity in the face of cruelty. This money is for you to live your remaining years as the queen you have always been, not as the beggar they wanted you to be. Do not let them use you again. With that inheritance, Mama Adanna bought this land by the river and built this house, a place where she could wake every morning to the sound of water and birds, free from painful memories and toxic people. For the first time in 14 years, she slept in complete peace. Mama Adanna tried to move closer, but Mama Adanna raised her hand to stop her. I know we made terrible mistakes. I know we hurt you in ways that cannot be forgiven easily, but we are family. We share blood. Blood? Mama Adanna interrupted with a bitter laugh. Adanna, blood means nothing without respect, without love, without consideration. You turned our family connection into dirty water and poured it on the ground when it no longer served you. Emeka leaned forward, adopting a posture of calculated vulnerability he had probably practiced. Mama Adanna, we understand your pain. We understand your anger. But the children are innocent in all this. They don't deserve to suffer for our mistakes. There it was, the final card he had saved. The children. The unknown grandchildren. The most powerful emotional weapon they had in their arsenal. They knew that mentioning the little ones might soften her heart, hardened by years of neglect. The children? Mama Adanna asked, feeling a mixture of pain and rage stir in her chest. The same children who grew up without knowing they had a grandmother who would have loved them more than life itself. The same children who were denied the love and wisdom of their grandmother for all these years. Adanna began to cry again, but this time her tears seemed genuine, heavy with the weight of real guilt. Mama, I didn't think about the long-term consequences. Emeka said it was better for the marriage, that mothers-in-law always caused problems. Emeka said. Mama Adanna repeated, looking directly at the man who had orchestrated the destruction of her relationship with her daughter. Emeka thought. Emeka decided. And where was your own voice, Adanna? Where was your own heart? My voice got lost somewhere between wanting a perfect marriage and being afraid to contradict my husband. Adanna admitted with an honesty that momentarily surprised Mama Adanna. But Mama, now I realize everything we lost. The children ask why they don't have a grandmother like their friends. They ask why you never come to see them. Her words were knives straight to the heart. But Mama Adanna had learned not to let pain cloud her judgment. For 14 years, she had dreamed of this moment. Adanna's return, the acknowledgement of her mistake, the chance to know her grandchildren. But now that it was happening, she realized it was coming too late, and for all the wrong reasons. Do you know how many of your children's birthdays I missed while you were building your perfect family? Mama Adanna asked, her voice hardening. Do you know how many nights I stayed awake imagining what their voices sounded like? Do you know how many toys I bought and stored in a box, waiting for a day that never came? Emeka shifted nervously, clearly uncomfortable with the direction the conversation was taking. His plan was not working as he had hoped, and Mama Adanna could see him mentally calculating his next move. Mama Adanna, we understand you are hurt, he intervened with that condescending voice. But now we can change all that. The children can meet you. They can spend time with you. We can be a family again. A family? Mama Adanna repeated, savoring the irony. You mean the kind of family where the grandmother is welcome only when she has money to solve the problems of irresponsible adults? The house filled with tense silence. Through the large windows, she could see the river flowing steadily past her compound, a constant reminder of her new freedom and hard-won independence. This place represented everything she had achieved without them, everything she had built from the ashes of their abandonment.